Hi, I'm inside now, and I got my yarrow. So some of them were so big that they're a little bit more than like 12 inches. This was a gargantuan yarrow out there. It typically doesn't grow that big, so it's making its voice heard. And when plants grow big like that in front of you, you should use them. That is the golden rule. But I thought I would show you how to bundle because, I mean, it's a pretty simple thing to bundle, to dry. But sometimes, you know, it's good to see it done if you've never done it before. And usually what I like to do, so this yarrow I'm going to dry and then I'm going to decide what I want to do with it. So if it's dried, I can at least use it in tea and then I can tincture it. And I can even do an infused oil with it after it's been dried, because I personally like to make my infused oils with dried plant material just because it's easier to deal with, and then you're not getting all the water element in there, and then when there's water, too much water in the plants, then you have mold. So I've just been accustomed to making dried plant material oils. So we're drying it for tea, we're drying it for tincture, and we're drying it for oil. So the oil I'm going to use topically for its tissue healing properties. So I would be using it for eczema, psoriasis, any kind of, you know, cuts and scrapes and whatever's on your skin. It's very antimicrobial as well, so you're going to have some of that protection. So if there's an infected cut, it's excellent for that. I also make other antibacterial salves with other plants as well, but yarrow is certainly a good option for people, for anybody. Okay, so to bundle them, you know, what I like to do is take about, and that's about an inch around, like that. And then if there's too many leaves on the bottom, sometimes I like to strip off some of the leaves just because they can mold in there, you know, if it's drying for a certain part of time, like 2 weeks, usually about 2 weeks. So I just like to get the lion's share, the bulk of the leaves from the bottom, because we're not going to really use much of the stem anyway once it's dried. And then I take a regular old rubber band and I'm gonna wrap it around as tight as I can. So we're wrapping, pulling, and then, you know, sometimes I pull too hard and break the darn elastic. So not too hard like that, but hard enough so it stays tight, because once it dries, it's going to shrink. So then what I do is I take a paper clip and then I hang it from my ceilings in the back. You want to hang it in a place where it doesn't get sun and it doesn't change in temperature, and it's not a basement where it's moist, because you want it to dry, not take on, you know, not to continue to take on moisture, because as soon as you leave the basement, you know, you're going to think it's dry down there, but it's not, unless you have some kind of dehumidifier down in your basement. That's fine too. But attics are great spaces to dry plants, but any place that's away from the sun and away from extreme temperature changes. So that's yarrow, an amazing tissue healer, and it smells so good. And it's good for you. It's excellent in tea. I personally like the taste of it. I got 2 good bunches here, but there's plenty more out there to get, so I'm going to be doing that.